MMA Oddsbreaker, Frank Trigg. That, of course, is Desmond Green getting ready to fight Daniel Weichel coming up here. Daniel's nickname is the Weasel.
The Weasel. Yeah, I was doing some research on him, and I was typing in his name, and on ShareDog it said Daniel the Weasel Weichel. And I was like, I'm not sure if I want the Weasel as a cage name, but I mean, hey, to each his own.
Hey, look, it's the Weasel's better than Twinkle Toes. Trust me, it's much better.
Yes.
We'll take it with that. So you said you've been watching tape on him. You're looking him up, doing a little research. You're 11-2. He's 33-8. So experience goes his way, but that's not the full story. Tell us what you see.
Yeah. So actually, from when I first got into the tournament, I looked at everybody. I told my manager, I said either I thought Nunes was gonna make it past the final. I thought he was gonna make it on his end of the bracket. He lost first round, and I was like, out of the rest of them, before being set and Weichel fought, I had my money on Weichel just because I looked at his record, I looked at his fights. He's had 40 plus fights now. He's experienced, and I think Weichel is he's like I would say he's one of the guys that I would say is a jack of all trades. He's a little good on his feet. He has a good knowledge on the ground, but he's not nothing outstanding when I look at him. So he has experience, but I think I definitely have like the explosiveness, the power, the speed, and like I said, when it goes to my wrestling again, is going to be a huge factor. I looked at it when I did my research on his fights. His takedown defense doesn't look too good. Good on his back, but as I proved out my last fight, I know how to handle good jiu-jitsu guys on the ground.
Well, you said he said he's kind of good everywhere. He's not an expert at anything, but if you just take a quick look at his wins, 5 KOs, 20 submissions, 8 decisions out of his 33 wins. But you say even though he has 20 submissions, that his submission game really isn't that strong because your wrestling ability is that much better. Is that why you're saying that?
Yeah, definitely. And so like when I looked at his, I know he had 20 submissions, but then I looked at also where the competition and with promotions, a lot of them were for M1, and not just discredit M1, but I mean it's the depth in there isn't as good, and the guys that he was beating, a lot of them had losing records or were like 500, no big name guys. I mean, he had that one win against Frodo, and I didn't know he beat Frodo, so my manager told me. And then if you actually look at the fight, it was a real questionable call. Frodo didn't tap. I looked at the fight a couple times, and it was a questionable call. But a lot of his wins came against not to downplay Weichel. I mean, he's a great opponent. Where he's in the finals. But a lot of his submissions came against mediocre opponents, and especially opponents that don't have that strong wrestling background per se as I do, or let alone jiu-jitsu. So I think that record is a little padded, but I think his strongest point would be jiu-jitsu from his back. But so he likes to take guys down, as you can see his last fight, but. Yeah. I'm not going down to the ground. Again, and anybody else's will. If we go down, I'll be on top.
And that does pose another problem because his main submission game is taking you down and then submitting you after he takes you down. If he can't take you down, he can't win the fight. Off of what we're looking at of his record, do you see him be able to match you in the boxing game and the stand-up game?
No, I looked at. When I look at his fights, he's slow, and I don't know if it's because it's on TV or I seen him in person too. Maybe his opponent, but I one thing I noticed, I was like, man, he doesn't have any fast muscle twitches, no reflex. Everything's real methodical, sought out. He likes a 1-2. He doesn't. To his credit, he doesn't throw any loopy punches. He's very technical. 1-2s. 1s, 2-1, right down the middle. But, the speed aspect isn't there. And, as you guys can see, I move nonstop throughout the whole fight. So I think that's going to be one of the biggest factors is constant movement and me dictating, where the fight goes, whether I want to keep it on the feet or if I want to attack my takedown.
It seems like everybody that I'm interviewing from Bellator as of late has been giving me a prediction of when they think their fight's going to end. I mean, even guys that never give predictions are just randomly giving out a prediction because they're starting to feel the tournament. They're starting to feel how things are going. They're starting to get more involved in what's going on. Do you have a prediction of when you're going to be able to finish this fight?
Yeah, I actually do, and I actually have I'm almost positive I'm going to be able to finish him from a TKO. I would say the last minute in the second round, and I'm going to say that because I look at his last fight, and he was real tired. Conditioning was horrible, and to his credit, he said we were at a different altitude, and we were. I kind of felt it a little bit, but I mean, I'm a conditioning maniac, so I was running ever since we get up there Tuesday and we fight Friday. So since Tuesday, I've been doing my cardio at the last fight, and he said, he wasn't used to the climate, and he's gonna work on his cardio. But I mean, it's only so much you could do in a matter of 5 weeks, trying to recover also and work on your cardio and work on your wrestling. Because it's funny, his manager and my manager, his manager used to train my manager, and after the fight, his manager came up and to my manager, like buddy to buddy, friendly, and said, "Hey, listen, I know you guys good at wrestling. We're gonna go to Russia and get some wrestling." Kind of just like saying, "Hey, we're getting ready for you." So I think he's gonna be dealing with he's gonna be more focused on his wrestling than his condition. So I think I plan on breaking him at the end of the second period. TKO, I'm going for.
Well, you heard it. Des Green says he's finishing Daniel Weichel come the end of the second period, coming on May 9th. Des, thanks for coming on here. Enjoy Rochester. I know you're back home, so have some fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy the family this weekend. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
All right, thanks, bro. See ya.